welcome back. How are you today? So today we want to talk about the spirit that is you. I mainly wanted to talk about how we place our spirit guides and spiritual beings on this planet like they're up on a pedestal, like they're higher than us, like they're above us somehow. That somehow we are less than our spirit guides. We are less than these beautiful spiritual beings that are here on earth. Less than God. Less than Jesus. So in this beautiful video, what I wanted to touch on is to remind you of the beautiful spirit that you are. You are spirit in human form. This is who you are. And you are not less than Jesus. You are not less than God. You are the same energy, the same spirit, the same. You know, what came to mind as this was coming up, I was remembering Jesus. I grew up in the Catholic Church and all these beautiful stories about Jesus. He didn't sit there and say, okay, I'm going to call a meeting and I'm just going to invite a few elite people to this meeting and I'm only going to speak to them. I don't ever remember hearing that story about Jesus. Jesus spoke to everyone because Jesus could see the divine in everyone. The divine that was in him is in everyone and everything. And he knew this. He knew this. So he would speak to everyone. And if a person was ready to receive this beautiful message, they would hear it. You know, many of these beautiful messages that I'm asked to share, some of them will reach the people they need to reach. And others will just be fillers, so to speak. The people that need this information will find it. You've already placed me on your path to help you along in this section of your life. I did the same. I already had the people lined up that would assist me to be here exactly where I am, starting with Rika's beautiful teachings. And by the way, I speak of Rika. She's always in the description below, always. My links below do not have what's called affiliate links. I don't know how to do that and I'm not interested. I share them because they changed my life. The beautiful courses that are there below, the things I share. My journey started with Rika. And then it really kicked in to the next level when I did the Reiki course with Melissa Crowhurst. That really moved me to the next level of awakening. So, and these beautiful spiritual beings, you know, for a long time I was the same with Rika. I would look at her and think, oh, you know, she's just amazing. And I'm not. This is how I used to feel. You know, she had all this beautiful wisdom, all this beautiful information. And I was still functioning from my ego. I was still in my separate I. I was still engrossed in my human experience when I found her. But now that I have all the information that I have, I realized I placed her on my path because I needed that for the first awakening. I needed her to be on my path. I placed her there. The same as I placed all those beautiful books by Neale Donald Walsch, The Conversations with God. I've been reading those since I was in my 20s. And sometimes I go back to read them a little bit again. Not much lately. I found as I started writing, I stopped reading because, like I said, I've been reading since before I started school, since before preschool, since before kindergarten. I was already reading. I've been reading my whole life. And I feel like now that I'm receiving these beautiful downloads with all this beautiful information, that my reading days are done. I don't need to keep reading. I don't need to keep searching for answers, for information. It's already here. It's already been given to me to pass on. So, the message from Spirit in this beautiful video today is that we are the same. Just as I am the same as Rika, there is no difference. We are both Spirit. We're both here communicating the message of Spirit in our own unique way. Because we are so different, we're going to say it in a different way. We've had different experiences. So perhaps, you relate to my experiences and not to hers, or perhaps you relate to hers and not to mine. And that's not what matters. What matters is that if this information is for you, if you placed me here at this time in your life for this information, and you are ready for it, you are the one that placed me here. It is all Spirit. No matter where you are on your journey, even if you're right at the beginning, super engrossed in your ego, filled with anger and resentment towards the world, you are still Spirit. If you're at the beginning of your journey in depression, completely engrossed in sorrow, can't stop crying, living your human experience to the fullest, you are still Spirit. You are still divine. You are one and the same. It doesn't matter where you are on your journey. Just because some of us have chosen to awaken in this lifetime doesn't make us more, doesn't make us better, superior, more than. I can't think of anything else. It doesn't make us any different to you. Our human experience is different. That's the only thing that's different. Our path is different. Everyone's path is different. It's not meant to be the same. It's not meant to be the same. So love where you are on your journey and know within your heart that it's exactly where you are meant to be. Exactly where you're meant to be. No matter what that looks like around you. It doesn't matter. This is where you are meant to be. Lately, I don't know why, I feel really drawn to looking for my Bible and reading again and finding all the beautiful wisdom, because there's two quotes that keep popping up. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And the information I keep getting with that is that what we do for others, we do for ourselves, because it is all Spirit. It is all Spirit. There is nothing else but Spirit. So if I'm Spirit and you're Spirit, and I give you this beautiful information for free, that you may use it as it fits your path, as it fits your journey, however it benefits you. I'm serving myself in serving you. The other beautiful quote that keeps coming up, because at the end of it, we are all serving Spirit. Every experience that every one of us is having here, this is how I interpret it. You may look at it very differently. But the way I look at it is that, okay, it's all Spirit. So when I'm serving you, I'm serving spirit. I am spirit. But every one of us here is here to have an experience, to gain knowledge, to gain wisdom. And at the end of the day, when we are done, spirit, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, gains that wisdom, gains that knowledge, because we are connected. It's like God is the mainframe, if you like, of the computer, and we are all connected to that mainframe. So all the information that we gather in our lifetime, all this beautiful wisdom, is gained by Source, by God, by the universe. So when we help others, we help them on their path. We assist. It is all serving the one purpose. It's all serving the higher power. So that's how I see serving others is serving ourselves, because we're serving God. It's all the same thing. But the other beautiful quote from the Bible that keeps popping up is when Jesus was on the cross. And I remember distinctly, I think every Easter we would go through this. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. And that is the way it always showed up in my Bible. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, if you think of that from ego, you'll never be able to let it go. You'll never be able to forgive, because the ego will jump in and not let you understand the second part. It'll go, yes, yes, forgive them. But the ego won't understand. They know not what they do. The ego is all about being right, and they're wrong. And you have a right to have this grudge. And yes, you do. That's your experience. If you want to stay angry, that is your experience. You have a right to continue on that path. It's not wrong. It's just your path. I was angry for a really long time. And it's exhausting, to be honest. It requires a lot of energy to be angry at other people. They know not what they do comes from a place of unconsciousness. Comes from a place of people that are not awake yet. They're living out the human experience. So the beautiful information that came out in our live stream yesterday, I'm trying to think what day it was, yesterday, seems like a lifetime ago, was that, you know, the first step that you can take towards making amends with someone that you've hurt unconsciously when you were in your human experience and you didn't realize that your words and your actions were going to hurt this person while you were living out your human experience. You can say that you're sorry. You can make amends to that person. And perhaps in that moment, they are able to release that, and you can both let it go out of your systems and move forward into a space of love. Perhaps that is what they're waiting for. That is what they need to let that go, for you to say you're sorry. Now, I've had a few experiences in my human life where I have apologized. I have explained what I was going through and why I behaved that way. And I've said I was sorry. And it wasn't my intention to hurt them or to make them feel less or to make them feel unwanted. It was just what I was going through at the time. And like I said before, for a huge portion of my adult life, I was very angry, very resentful. And so we react, we behave from this anger. Everything comes from this energy of anger. Our words, our actions. So for me, every time I've apologized, it has never been accepted by the other person. You know, my daughter, my husband, I'm not including my immediate family that I live with every day. We have a very different philosophy in my home, that we are here to make mistakes. We're human. And when we stuff up, we acknowledge, oh, look, I stuffed up. I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean to say those things. I didn't mean to do those things. I didn't mean to, you know, hurt you in the process. We do that at home. Maybe because we've spent a whole lifetime where that just hasn't happened for us. You know, I've never seen that in my home growing up. No one's ever apologized. All they do is hold grudges and resentment. You know, they've never gone and apologized to any of my aunts and uncles and vice versa. They just decide they're right and they're wrong and they want to stand in that position. So I've never seen it growing up. And I know that for my husband with his dad was the same. You know, there were so many things that he was angry about and his dad never apologized. And so there's that anger, there's that resentment again, you know. And so life goes on and you're just sitting there with that anger and that resentment that eats away at you. Because your life is about you. It's not about anything else. It's about you. It eats away at you. So once you've apologized, if that person does not want to accept that apology, that is their path. Allow them their experience. This is what those two beautiful words, let them, brought to light for me. Let them have that experience. Let them be angry. Let them have resentment. This is what they have chosen. They have chosen not to awaken. So let them continue on their path with their human experience. Let them be. The next step you can take is to forgive yourself. You didn't mean to hurt those people. You didn't mean to say the things that you said. But like me, you may have been in a place where you were very angry, very resentful, holding on to all these grudges. And you weren't ready to let them go yet. You hadn't healed it. You hadn't resolved any of it. So you behaved accordingly with all of this in your system still intact. So forgive yourself for your unconsciousness. Forgive yourself is the next step. And for me, the third step is let them. Let them. Let them be angry. Let them be upset. Let them. You've done everything you could do. Now just allow. And with that comes the fact that if we allow, if we are to be the unconditional love, there is no judgment. It's not right and it's not wrong. It's just their experience. Accept them as they are. Accept yourself as you are. And going back to what we started with in this beautiful video, accept that you are the love and the light. You are no more than and no less than any other being here that is the love and the light. Even if they're asleep, even if they're sleepwalking, even if they're unconscious and they don't wake up in this lifetime, they are still the love and the light. They are still divine. And this is what Jesus walked around and he could see it everywhere. He could see what that person was going through just by looking in their eyes. But at no point did he ever stop seeing the divine in that person. This is what it is to be awakened. To see the divine in all, in everything, not just in others, but in everything. Everything is universal life force energy. Everything is made of this intelligence. Everything. Not one has more than the other. Not one has been given more gifts than the other. So We are the same. I think one of the things that blew me away one day, I was doing this gorgeous meditation, and I found myself, it was one of Rika's meditations, and I would have the most gorgeous visions with her meditations. I found myself standing in this circle, and in this circle I was surrounded by angels dressed in white with beautiful white wings. And there were thousands upon thousands. This circle just spanned out, and I was in the center of it. All white angels, all with white wings. And in the meditation, we were to ask them, who am I to you? And in that moment, I heard the word sister. And I just remember in that moment, the tears just rolling down my face. I was so touched by that one word. I am your sister. You are my brother. We are one and the same spirit. So when you look at me, see me as your sister. It's that simple. That's all I am. Sister. The same love that I am, you are. The same light that I am, you are. The same gifts that I have, you have. There is nothing I have that you don't have within you. Nothing. Because we are the same. We are divine. We come from the same energy. All right, my beautiful beings. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.